Fixed and sticky positioning are two essential modes for controlling how elements move or don't move as a visitor scrolls through your pages, but each has its own unique behavior. In this lesson, we'll explore how and why to use each to keep important elements in view exactly when and where they're needed. Let's start with fixed positioning. A fixed position element stays in the same spot on the screen no matter how far the user scrolls. For example, think of a nav bar that never leaves the top of the screen, or a floating action button that stays in the bottom right corner. Either way, it's something that you want to keep visible at all times. When we set an element to fixed position, it anchors itself to the viewport, which means it's tied to the browser window instead of any particular frame on the page. To use fixed positioning, we first need to make sure that our design element, in this case, the nav bar, is a direct child of the breakpoint frame. Now we'll have no problem switching the position type from absolute to fixed. You might notice the positioning controls that appear look similar to those used for absolute positioning, but rather than pinning to a frame, it's pinning to the viewport itself. With this in mind, I'll pin my nav bar to the top, left, and right edges of the viewport. This will keep it positioned at the top while allowing it to scale horizontally, making its behavior a bit more responsive. Also similar to absolute positioning is that when an element is set to fixed, it's removed from the content flow of the stack. This means it'll no longer push or pull other elements around it, allowing it to float above the other content on our site. So if I preview my site, you'll see that my nav bar is fixed to the top and the rest of the content scrolls underneath it. It's that easy. If you have issues with things not overlapping properly, don't forget about that z-index property that we talked about in the lesson on absolute positioning. Now we know that fixed positioning keeps an element locked to the viewport at all times. But sticky positioning, on the other hand, allows an element to scroll with the content until it reaches the top of the viewport. Then it sticks in place temporarily before the bottom of its parent frame scoops it up and makes it continue scrolling again. This is great for things like sidebars, headers, card layouts, or even subnavs that we want to stay visible for part of the scroll, but not the entire time. In this example, I have a pricing card next to a series of images, and I want my pricing card to stick to the top of the screen as we scroll past the images. The first thing to know when using sticky positioning is that our layer must be the child of a stack or grid. And every parent frame all the way up the hierarchy needs to have overflow set to visible, or sticky just won't work. Okay, so now that everything is ready, I'll set the position type of my pricing card to sticky. We also get an offset property to define how far down from the top edge of the viewport this thing should stick. I'll set this to 100 pixels to give us a little cushion of space. With that set, I'll switch over to preview mode to see how it looks. And there we go. The pricing card sticks to the top of the viewport and stays visible as the images to the left scroll past. Then when the bottom of the parent frame hits the bottom of the card, it gets scooped up and starts scrolling again. So now you've got a clear understanding of fixed and sticky positioning, and you know when each one comes in handy. Fixed positioning for keeping design elements locked in place at all times as users scroll, and sticky positioning to let elements move with the page until they hit the top of the viewport, and then start moving again if and when their parent container scrolls out of view. With these position techniques, you're ready to design layouts that keep essential elements right where they're needed, within easy reach for visitors. We've just got a few more layout tricks to cover, so I'll see you in the next one.